You know, a trained dog is not a dog that shakes and sets before they get their food, okay? Nobody's paying me thousands of dollars to teach your dog something I can teach them in about 5 seconds. Part of training is to build neutrality, guys. Training isn't teaching your dog to shake, teaching your dog to wait before it gets its food, and teaching your dog to jump up on the couch and stay there for 5 seconds while you prepare their meal. That is not dog training. Nobody is paying me for that. If you own a dog training business and all you gotta teach a dog is shake, jump on the couch, wait for your food, brother, sign me up. Because that will take me about 45 seconds. I'll make about $1,000 in about 45 seconds, and we'll just call it a day. But that's not what we're doing. We're talking set, down, leash pulling, leash manners, vehicle manners, in out stay, placeboard, 2 to 6 hours, monitoring our pace and our direction while we're walking, off leash control, the dog is not running off in a random direction, the positive momentum, the dog's following us around off the leash and is aware of our body language and positioning. We're conditioned on the e-collar, 100% reliable. Your dog will come back. You don't go to State Farm, you come to me to get your dog insurance. Good boy. We do impulse control around children, dogs, prey animals, chickens, cats, all the stuff. Okay? This is not a trick dog club where you show up and I teach your dog to shake. Okay? Nobody cares about shake. Nobody's paying me thousands of dollars to teach your dog shake. Most of the time, my owners are done with their dog's behavior. Their dog has pulled them down. Their dog has seriously injured them with leash pulling. They have a goal. Their idea of fulfillment is not to let the dog run around with random dogs. Their fulfillment is, I want to just simply take my dog on a walk and I want to enjoy it. I want to simply take my dog on an off-leash hike and know that whenever we run into a dog, the dog's not going to be crackhead, overly stimulated, and start a dog fight because we're hiking. The dog will recall. The dog will follow through with their training. And here's the thing. If I allow my dogs to run around, be impulsive with other dogs, they will continue to do it. It's not up for debate. It is a science class. Welcome. Moral of the story: if you're going to show me a video of your dog being trained up, don't show me a video of him shaking and waiting to get their food, okay? Nobody gives a single shit. I want to see what your dog looks like on the leash. I want to see your dog walking on the leash, minimal leash pulling, walking in the proper position, maintaining our pace and our direction, doing all the things that a trained dog should do. Tango. A little bit of our on-leash skills. You can see the leash is real loose on there. We're walking. If I slow down, he should slow down with me. If I pick my pace up, he should pick his up as well. If I change my direction, so should he. And I shouldn't be feeling so there's no line pressure on this. Good. Good man. So, a lot of debate about what a trained dog even is. So here's my dog Lucy. Lucy is a mutt. She does not have great genetics. Our genetics are almost unknown. Remember, I am behavioral. I am here for training. I'm not here for having a good old time and running around socialization with everybody. For people in my clients, a trained dog, of course I want it to listen to your voice. I'm teaching owners how to use equipment. So this is where we go wrong with, this is why most dog trainers are gonna frame away from. You're not going to see any highly reputable dog trainers at a dog park. You're not going to see any highly reputable trainers supporting group socialization with untrained dogs. That's just super, good girl Lucy. That's just super, open and just letting dogs just run around and act crazy together, because for training, it's just not sustainable. I will teach the dogs to do undesirable behaviors because your dog's behaviors constantly evolve based off what you allow, reinforce, ignore, and punish. So, for me, where I draw the line is like this. If you've been taking your dog to dog parks and they left out of here and they were 10 out of 10 on the leash, and I remember this, and they were not impulsive or stimulated by dogs during our public sessions, then you come to a group class and their 10 out of 10 leash pulling is now a 2 out of 10, and their 10 out of 10 crackhead for impulsive around new dogs, they can't think and they can't learn, their ability to walk into the leash is hindered by this, then I'm going to tell you, of course, I do not recommend off leash, running around with random dogs. You actually want, like, I don't give a shit what your dog does if it pulls into the leash. Absolutely sucks. Go girl, whoosh. Because right now you can see I don't even need a leash. It's not even in my hands. I don't even need this leash anymore. This leash is just because there's leash law. This dog will walk beside me in the proper position because I taught her to. Ren is my shepherd. She's like 2-3 years old. Was a rescue, so she wasn't like neglected or seriously abused or anything like that, but she can be a lot. She can be dog aggressive, she can be food aggressive. Many of you guys have met Ren. She does all my temperament testing. She's out with tons and tons of dogs. I walk her around. Let's talk about a dog that monitors my pace and my direction. If I walk slow, she should as well. If I pick my pace up, she should pick hers up. Walk up here and run around some cones, and we'll see how she's monitoring my pace and my direction. And I'm able to communicate with her with a nice, loose leash walk. This is what we're after. Nobody gives a shit what your dog can do if they pull on the leash. You don't just wake up one day and know how to teach your dog to walk on the leash like this. So every single owner coming through training wants their dog to walk nicely on the leash. There's not one that requests leash pulling for me, but I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? Could you teach him the leash pull? That'd be wonderful. Moral of the story is, training is not teaching your dog little tricks. People think that training is making your dog do things, and you can clearly see if you start watching some non-trainers videos about showing off their dog's skills, like a lot of shaking and a lot of waiting before you get your food. That takes us 10 seconds to teach every dog. Every dog can learn that in no time. It's not a problem at all. Not every dog. Your dog just doesn't wake up in the morning and learn loose leash walking like this, where your dog's just walking beside of you, monitoring your pace, monitoring your direction. It's very enjoyable for me to walk this dog around. Newsflash. Get your medical advice from your vet. Don't ask me about medical advice. I'm a dog trainer, not a veterinarian. Get your grooming advice from your groomer. Get your nutrition advice from a pet nutritionist, right? Get your dog training advice from a dog trainer. Get your fulfillment advice from a person who runs barking boards or dog parks. Guys, I don't have anything against dog parks, or I'm not trying to start a club and shut all the dog parks down. I don't care what you do with your dog. It is not my problem. As long as you're being humane to your dog and you're not strapping it to a tree sitting outside in the cold, I don't care what you do with your dog. It's not my business. It's not my problem. Guys, at the end of the day, I do not care what you do with your dog. All I want you to do is, if you call a plumber, you should listen to them for plumber advice. If you call an excavating company, you should listen to them for their excavating advice. You should listen to the people who make their money doing this thing. If you need medical advice, seek your veterinarian. If you need training advice, seek your dog trainer. If you want advice for behavioral, you probably should not call a barking board and ask them about behavioral advice, because this is not how they make their money. This is not what they're trained in. This is not their area of expertise. They should definitely stay in their lane. And if your goal is a trained dog that has neutrality, that wants to walk nice on the leash, has a 100% reliable recall, stays in the placeboard, has a nice downstay, guys, your dog does not wake up and do these things automatically. We must teach the dog, and part of teaching our dog and part of a trained dog is controlling our impulses and not being overly stimulated, crackhead crazy every time we see a dog. Not all dogs are created equal. Some dogs can go to these places and still remain obedient, no problem. Other dogs, they will never meet behavioral goals if I allow them to go to these places and become overly stimulated by dogs. They are not capable of it, and I work with tons of owners and dogs that their dogs are just simply not capable of it. So I would recommend that you avoid dog parks, group socialization, if your dog has any impulsive issues and you're not meeting goals. If you've met your goals and you've done these things and your dog is doing exactly what you would like, I do not care what you do with your dog. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.